Next, we move on to positive conditioning and negative conditioning. What is positive conditioning? Positive conditioning is the opposite of negative conditioning. Negative conditioning is the projection of negative redundant thoughts and negative redundant actions, and negative energy with confusion, erroneous information, and so on in a redundant manner. So one can pick up these patterns of redundancy and negative thoughts and be played over throughout society, throughout their mind, throughout their emotions, and throughout their being. Positive conditioning is the foundation of healing and empowerment. Positive conditioning is projecting positive beliefs and positive actions to maintain positive redundant thoughts and positive redundant actions. Regardless of any negative conditioning that you may have been subjugated to, positive conditioning is done to empower individuals to maintain positives, a good mind, and a good body day by day, continuously over time. It's input and output of positive beliefs and actions and structures, positive energy, and maintaining a calm, a meditative spirit with a positive, fluid communication as opposed to a jagged, angry, dispersive communication. Positive energy also has good support groups, good family, good friends, using good words and good actions, pleasant, as in love, calm, patience, an equal smooth tone, having also good health and good eating plan, as opposed to wrong information as to what is healthy and what is not healthy, and balancing rest, work, and fun, as opposed to too much work or too much fun, doing too much or doing too little. Balancing between excitement and relaxation, as opposed to being too excited or too relaxed, which then means being too lazy. Having positive mantras, positive affirmations, learning to exercise the body and keep it in a good physical state, massaging your body, including sex, getting enough sleep, having positive input, even positive subliminal input, and learning how to reflect your day positively. Positive conditioning perceives things positively and give positive input, such as beliefs that empower you, like believing you can conquer your fear and conquer any negative emotion. You can defeat any negative emotion by simply having positive redundant thoughts, as in present thinking, positive affirmations, and of course the overall positive belief system. There is an existing regularity, which means finding the system that you like, and it doesn't have to be simple. Your objective in, for example, in being fit, as opposed to being too lazy and not being too fit, or not having too much exercise, because that also can have a negative effect on an individual. And you must have be active, but not too active, and have balance. You may also, so you want to have a good structure, an honest structure that'll leave you with a good exercise, good nutrition, finding a good doctor, and creating a good diet. So it goes from having a good mental being, as well as a good physical being, and also a good spiritual being. And then with your diet, if you aren't a real fruit and vegetable person, there's also ways of juicing them. There's also pre-made juices. So the objective on positive conditioning is your overall being and mentally, physically, and spiritually, and using your daily structure, daily chores to maintain your health and keep a present state of mind and condition yourself, which is a mixture of the power of suggestion, positive belief structure, and also subliminal input. Make sure you're getting also enough sleep and reflect in quiet places and rather to gather your thoughts. Meditation is also a part of positive conditioning, as well as prayers, choosing to have a quiet place to reflect, a quiet place to close your eyes, be still, and communicating with your higher self and also the highest self is very beneficial to one's being. Regardless, if you say you're an atheist, you're only hurting yourself if you don't follow a system that is positive, that isn't structured in such a way that it helps you grow, as opposed to one that you're only saying you're an atheist or whatever you choose to be in order to have a belief system that'll enable you to do what you willed, as opposed to doing with what God's will or following the instruction of a higher path. So you're using it as a clutch in order to find a lower path. And is directly connected to problems because these negative individuals are having a negative belief system because they're problematic people, and that's who they are, and that's how they understand themselves and others, and they bond with others through others' pain. Keeping a blank mind and learning how to breathe in such a way that if you're feeling anxiety or worry, the first thing that you can do is to breathe calmly and patiently, because if you're in a fight or flight mode and breathing in a fight or flight mode, that's just going to exacerbate the negative emotions that you're doing. So continuously breathing slowly until you're no longer panting or breathing too harsh, or forgetting to breathe in a calm, relaxed manner. Also, music helps in your conditioning, and it helps in the relaxing. So if you're bored, you may want to listen to music that's elevated, music that's like higher, faster paced. And if you're not bored and you're excited, then you want to listen to music that's more of a relaxed, calmer pace. Continue keeping your mind calm, and when you meditate, try to go from from being awake to what they call SEM, and that's a slow eye movement. You're not exactly sleeping, but you're relaxed, and your mind is not being overworked. So many people forget to breathe, they may forget to relax their mind. Some people forget to sleep, some people forget to relax. These are all the things that you want to remember. And of course, the positive belief structure that you feel great. Try saying that every day. Try saying every day I'm getting better and smarter and stronger. Every day remind yourself how calm and patient you are, and remind yourself how you never give up, you never give in, and you condition yourself by having this positive conditioning, this positive state of mind, remembering balance. Note that positive conditioning can also undo what negative conditioning has done. So there's so much negative conditioning that your objective is just to automatically use positive conditioning as a form of balance. But also take note that there are many times that you may want to simply reflect and meditate with silence to excrete any of these negative emotions or any negative thoughts that may be in your mind that you haven't quite dealt with. And you can usually get that out with praying and meditating. Even if you don't feel like it, I'd recommend that you at least give yourself a few minutes. You're spending all this time doing all these other things. Give yourself some time to counteract that negative or that too much or too little balance by finding the appropriate thing to do and say. And there's sleeping problems and dreams, and those who have sleeping problems exist for many reasons, such as sleep apnea and other problems. As people in the other room who wants to keep you up for some reason or another. Some people blame the other person snoring, but they won't find a solution just by putting on earplugs, or snoring is only a problem if you believe it's a problem. Some people consider it a lullaby. So there are those who have no problem with snoring, and there are those who just want you to feel self-conscious. There are those who constantly complain about your snoring, and even if they snore, they're still complaining about your snoring. Of course, again, negative people always fall in line with the hypocrisy and with the covet, and also to destroy. So they're complaining constantly about something, even if they do it, only for you or to feel self-conscious. And then there's still other solutions, whether it's anti-snoring of devices. You may want to see a doctor if it's a problem. You could sleep in separate rooms if that's a solution. And there's other problems that may be health problems that you may be having problems with. You may want to look into that, depending on what it is. It just may be a simple air flow structure that you can alleviate through many devices that are sold over the counter these days. And then there's also other people that really make it hard for you to sleep when they keep moving around, whether they do that deliberately or if they suffer from nightmares. Again, finding out what's the problem so that it's easier to find a solution. And there's also arguing before you go to sleep. Watching too much television before you go to sleep is a bad idea because of all the flashing pictures. We'll be going through all over this in a lot better structure later on, but this is just the introduction to the everything that we will be going over eventually. If you have a sleep interrupter on your hands, which is someone who's deliberately waking you up several times a night, and you can catch them in the act by often faking that you're sleeping, even if you gotta act like you're snoring and not move a muscle, even though you're still fully awake. Eventually they'll never know whether you're sleeping or awake. If you don't know what you sound like exactly while you're sleeping, you could record it and to pinpoint what's going on clearly. Now, you can wear sleeping or whether earplugs to sleep, but you don't want to make it too thick because you also want to hear what's going on. In other words, have a sleeping, some earplugs in which if you can hear it, you know there's a problem, but if you can't hear it, you can sort of have that boundary as to say, okay, I'm not going to get up unless I can hear, and if I can hear it, there's a problem because you're wearing plugs, so it must be a real noise. So if they keep waking you up in the middle of the night, then that's something, you want to find a solution for, and knowing what kind of person you're dealing with. Instead of arguing and fighting with this agitator, act as though you act like you're sleeping, know what's going on. Just continue to stay in that position and see how far they're willing to go, because if they're willing to go that far, then there's no reason for you to be in the same vicinity. You may also want to record it, because people like that usually deny what they're doing. They said there's a saying for people like that. They said, we creep while you sleep. They usually try to get you to have nightmares. It can be instilled. There's different ways and reasons for people to get nightmares. But we will be going over that in its own subject of sleep. But for now, we're just giving you this overall well-beings and overall possibilities and problems with all different kind of situations by maintaining a balanced life and positive conditioning. So scheduling problems, they schedule problems, and then you schedule a solution that helps that problem, and then having that solution just a matter of your daily schedule. So therefore you're going to be balanced in positives, because your daily schedule is already filled with positive conditioning, and just like their schedule is for negative conditioning. So people will tell you, oh, well, I don't plan to do this in a negative way, and I don't plan to do that in a negative way. But they do plan to do it in a negative way, because that's the way they're structured, that's what they do. So they're negative conditioning you for their own reasons. And if you positive condition yourself, then both of you are applying energy to you. And when you take their energy and use it for your good, then they're depleting themselves without even knowing, because they're following the law of ignorance. Also, be wary of taking sleeping pills with people like that, because you never really know what they're doing around you while you're sleeping. If you're in the same vicinity while you're sleeping in the same room, you never know exactly where a person stands until you begin to understand this instruction that we are going over. And there's also the secret gift, and that's when you continue in such a positive way that you receive and identify with positive energy. The secret gift is often felt lightly with love and intensified, and if you're challenged in such a way, it rises to the occasion. So if there's great pain, there's great revelation, and incredible things happen to you in such situations, and some people call them miracles. Also, the secret gift is very euphoric. It's a great feeling of great power. And religions call this the Holy Spirit, but you must follow the instruction. It's a process. If you are not in line, you will not be able to receive this gift. Others call it enlightenment, but whatever you call it, it's an incredible gift. It is not measured by tools or by instruments, at least not that I know of as of yet. But the individual who's experiencing this secret gift, and by the way, we can share this gift and we can all use it, and children have it and are born with it, but not until it's flushed out of them by this society that we are currently living in. It won't feel it. We won't feel it, because the law, as above, so below, will give us all the energy to feel this euphoric feeling of the sharing of understanding. It's just like when you feel fear because they're programming all this fear. Imagine if our current structure decided to turn on its head and just do the opposite. So you will feel euphoric, at the same level that you're feeling fear or pain or worry now. If they switch the system in the way it's supposed to be run, we will then feel